you spoke of Edgar Allan Poe and just that whole idea of there being a difference. So like a lot of times when people think of poetry, they think of the more literary poetry. It's like
Hmm.
the poetry is more so meant to be read.
Hmm.
But when I think of spoken word, I mean it's performance poetry.
Right.
Like you said, poetry with power, but it's meant to be spoken.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It's
Hmm.
like if you try to write down a spoken word poem and somebody just sit there and read it, it loses its effect
Absolutely.
because it's not just in what you say, but it's in how you
How you
deliver
say
it
it.
as
Hmm.
well. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Which is an art. And I know for me, as a communicator and as like a youth pastor, it has helped me tremendously in how I communicate.
Okay.
When I you know what I mean, like when I'm stand before the students I serve and I proclaim,
Uh-huh.
the gospel, or I share a message, or whatever venue, because the cadence, the pauses, and all those
Hmm.
artistic elements that you find within the art, the craft of spoken word poetry, it can also be incorporated in speaking.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
good. That's good. As a quick like story, my grandma died, passed away or
Right.
transitioned
Yes, yes, yes.
some years ago, and my brother asked me. I wrote a poem for. Nobody asked me to do it. I just wrote it or whatever,
Yeah.
and my brother caught wind of it, and he put me on the program to like read this
Just
poem.
randomly.
Yeah, to read this poem for the
Wow.
funeral. But I was a little, like I didn't think that I could get through it. And
Mm,
so I gave the poem to somebody else to read.
really?
And
Oh
they read
man.
it. And during the funeral, I was upset. Like while they're reading it, I'm mad because I'm like,
You,
no, you're messing it up.
oh man.
You're supposed to say it like this. You're supposed to,
Diversity.
But like you said, um, being able to, when you write it down,
Hmm.
spoken word is you have it has to be spoken.
Yeah.
You just can't get away from that.
I appreciate you sharing that story. My condolences as well.
That was
And
for
uh
some
and
years
I
ago.
know and I can imagine, yes, it being hard. My grandmother passed in 2018. And though I didn't do a spoken word poem, I did you get to eulogize her.
Ah.
But again, for me, being a spoken word artist, it just helps me. And I
Mm-hmm.
think it enhances the experience of the audience and the members
Mm-hmm.
whenever I get to communicate, because again, you incorporate those different elements in, and
Mm-hmm.
what I mean, it's just different. And then
Yeah.
people would often say, it's like, man, you speak with such a cadence. And it's
I was
like,
gonna ask you, do you have like a poet voice? Like
that's what people tell. Yeah, it's like you speak with such a cadence. This whole front runner concept we talked about running, it comes from my experience in track and field. And so in track and field, the front runner is like the underdog because the odds are against them and they're not expected to win the race.
mm-hmm.
And but the thing though about front running and about this whole concept in track and field is that the front runner is one who takes risk, is one who bets on themselves, is one who run their race, and they're one who runs to win, leaving it all on the track. And I think that could be applied to life as well. When I think about this concept, a front runner, it's like in life we have to take risks. Sometimes we have to bet it. We have to have moments where we like, you know what? I just need to bet on myself.
Mm-hmm.
We have to run our race and we have to run to win. And I
Mm-hmm.
know winning can be different for everybody, whatever winning looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you consider your journey, would you consider yourself to be a front runner? Did you feel in any of your journey of becoming a creative, a spoken word artist, that you were the underdog, or like the odds were against you of becoming the artist you are?
Um, I would say yes to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, the risk and like the challenges that you have to go through to press through.
Yeah.
In that sense, I think that when you're running your own race, everybody could be considered an underdog. because you will endure, you will face certain things that you have to press through.
Yeah.
I am currently I I am, and this might be, I don't care about age, but I'm 41, right?
Okay.
And a lot of the artists and the venues that I go into, you got people that are 20, 19, 22, 23. They coming into this thing and they're like, rah, rah, let's go. And you got this older person that gets up on the stage, and I'm like, look, there's some seasoning behind this.
Hey.
You might look at me like, or what's she gonna say,
Yeah.
But pressing through in that sense, pressing through what a spoken word artist looks like, is a challenge, has been a challenge.
Yeah.
One, I am pretty introverted, right?
Okay.
I wouldn't put that label on myself, but when it comes to how I maneuver on a regular day to day, somebody could label me as introvert. But being called to do spoken word is ministry for me.
Yeah.
And so it goes beyond what I feel or how I feel. It becomes more of an assignment, more of a call, more of a mandate, so to speak. And I know that I'm not just relying on my own ability. If I was an underdog, based on my own ability, I would lose. But when you factor in the grace of God, then it's like, wait a minute, I'm not doing this by my own ability or by my own strength. This is his cause, his mission. I received it, I accepted, and I'm receiving his grace in order to be able to do it and get the job done. So all of the other excuses, now I got to toss out the window, just like any other underdog. Like you might have health issues or financial, or grew up in the wrong neighborhood, whatever the case is. Like if you're trying to win, eventually those excuses got to be tossed out the window, and you just got to run.
Yes.
You got to do your thing.
For sure.
I'm out front running all day.